Sugar. A few years ago, I had a client, and this client was talking to me about a specific goal that they wanted to accomplish and wanted me to give them tips on how to accomplish it. Well, just so happened that this particular goal that this client wanted to accomplish was something that I had struggled with and had long since figured out the way to get over the hurdle so that it could be accomplished. So I gave this client some specific tips and strategies that could help them accomplish this particular goal. Want to know what this client said to me? But Dr. T, I like doing it this way, the way that I'm currently doing it. And sugar, I was confused. And I said to this client, I said, well, didn't you say to me that the way that you're currently doing it is not yielding the results that you would like? To which this client said, that is correct. I'm not getting the results that I would like, but doing it this way feels good to me. To which I said, so why are you talking to me? If you already have decided that you like doing it this way, that this is the way that you're going to do it, knowing that it's not getting you the results that you want, why are you wasting your time, your energy, your effort, your money talking to me? To which the client did not have an answer at all. Now, before you judge my client, understand, we all do this. Doing what feels good, but that might not be good for us is something that I'm pretty sure all of us are guilty of. This is why it's important that we check our emotions, because our unchecked and unhealed emotions will have us out here doing what feels good in the moment, but that could really be downright destructive for us and for our goals. All right. Now, when we think about doing, they usually fall into a couple of categories. And I wrote these down. And what I want you to do is I want you to identify which category or categories do you fall into. All right. Category number 1, doing the wrong thing. Okay. And by the wrong thing, I mean self-sabotaging behaviors. All right. Now, self-sabotaging behaviors are behaviors that we do that stand in direct opposition to the goal that we want. All right. So an example, I want to lose weight, but I'm going to go over here and eat 2 slices of this chocolate cake. All right. That is a self-sabotaging behavior. I want to save money, but I'm finna go out here and splurge on this shopping trip and overspend on what I had allocated in my budget. That is a self-sabotaging behavior, okay? So any behavior, any action that stands in direct opposition to what it is that you want to do, we doing the wrong thing. And a lot of times we do the wrong thing, again, because it feels good. Eating that chocolate cake, the chocolate cake is good in the moment. It's real good. But if you are trying to achieve a health goal, is that chocolate cake good for you? Now, I want to be clear here, because again, there's nothing wrong with eating a slice of chocolate cake. There's nothing wrong with going shopping. You have to put your actions in the context of whatever goal it is that you're going after. So it may not be wrong for you to eat chocolate cake, but it may be wrong for me to eat chocolate cake. Okay, so just because your friend can go and field trip and we outside and we going over here and we traveling over there, is that a right or wrong action for you when you know what your goals are? Okay, this is why, again, you have to make sure that you are connected with yourself, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're going after, because that is the only thing that can delineate what is right and wrong in terms of your actions. Is this a self-sabotaging action, or is this action progressing you toward your goal? All right. So we want to make sure we don't fall into this category of doing the wrong thing. But hey, all of us have been there. Let me raise both hands. I've been there. doing the wrong things. No judgment. This is a safe space. Just recognize where you might be doing the wrong thing and how your actions might be self-sabotaging to you actually achieving your goals. All right. Now, the number 2 area that will fall in is doing no thing or nothing. We won't do anything. Okay. So this is where we play it super, super safe. We won't take the step. We won't, go and meet the people. We won't get the gym membership. We won't go into that space because it's unfamiliar. We've never been there. We won't do anything. Sugar, what are you doing? If you're telling me that you want to own your own business, what are you doing to actually take baby steps towards you owning that business? When we do nothing, then we're just standing in place. We're not making any progress. Okay. And the number one way that we fall into this category, procrastination. Sugar. I see this a lot with my clients where we will procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate. And procrastination is not, let me say this, procrastination is not a result of you being lazy. It is not a result of you not wanting it bad enough. All right. There are 4 different types of procrastinators that I've identified that I kind of did a little series on them, but I'm actually going to dig deeper into that and explain the type of procrastinators that I've identified. But this procrastination is not a character flaw of yours. There's something deeper that drives your procrastination that causes you to pull up short so that you're not doing the thing that you know that you need to do in order to accomplish the goals that you want to achieve. Okay. So when we do nothing, that is just as harmful as when we do the wrong thing. Okay. Now, category number 3, doing too much. Sugar, if we're not doing no thing, we doing all the things. We are on the hamster wheel and we are just running. And oftentimes we're just running in place. We're ripping over here. We're running over there. We're doing this over here. We're doing that over. We're throwing it all against the wall to see what sticks. And that leaves you tired, overwhelmed, unmotivated, no energy, exhausted. And you're wondering why you can't progress forward towards your goals because you're doing too much, sugar. You're doing too much. And oftentimes we start doing too much when we lack clarity. We're lacking the clarity on exactly what we're doing and why. So we think that if I do all of this, then something has to work. And then we're surprised when nothing works, when we've put in all of this time and energy and effort doing all of these things. So why is it not yielding anything? Sugar, this is where having that clarity is important. This is where making sure that you're doing the right thing is important, because when you're aligning that clarity with that intention and your actions, and you know exactly what you're doing, you may not have to do all 12 of the things that you're doing. You may only need to do 2 things, and you out here doing 12. So it's important that we're not doing more than what we should be doing, because again, that can be detrimental to us being able to continue in the actions that we should be continuing in. Okay. And sometimes when we're doing too much, we may be doing conflicting things. We may be doing things that are contradiction or canceling each other out because we're doing too much. Okay, sugar. Now the last area that I want to point out. Okay. And this is one I just kind of alluded to at the top of our time together here. We're only doing what feels good. Okay. Now we could know, just like my client, we can know that this is not effective. We can know that this thing does not work, but we're only doing it because it feels good and it makes us feel like we are doing something. Okay. There's this thing that we have that we want to feel like we're busy, feel like we're making progress, feel like we're actually, moving the needle, even though we can know that we're not. So we may be, doing stuff because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel busy. It makes us feel like we're making progress, but deep down we know that we're not. Okay. Now, another way that I kind of call this area or describe this area is the comfort zone. we are in our comfort zone doing a whole bunch of stuff from our comfort zone. We're not actually taking the necessary calculated risk. We're not necessarily being intentional about pushing the boundary just a little bit to step outside of the things that we know to do to learn something that we don't know how to do. That's what actually moves the needle. When we are in the comfort zone, Sugar, you could be doing a whole bunch of stuff in the comfort zone. You can be really killing it in the comfort zone, but nothing grows in the comfort zone. Nothing progresses in the comfort zone. You have to come out of your comfort zone and do those things that make you feel uncomfortable in order for you to really, truly reach that goal that you want to reach. In order to get something that you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. And if you've already done it, you're probably in the comfort zone. When we're doing things that we've never done before, it makes us feel uncomfortable. It's normal to feel a little fear. It's normal to feel a little agitation or a little bubble guts when you're doing something that you've never done before. So if everything that you're doing, you're comfortable and it's wonderful and you know exactly how to do it and it feels good, then Sugar, you not moving. And I just hate to put it to you that way, but that's exactly what it is. Every day, my fellow entrepreneurs and small business owners will tell you, we are uncomfortable every day. There's a new software we got to learn. There's something, the AI, and now we have to market this way. It is uncomfortable. But if we want our businesses to grow, we have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable doing the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Sugar, honestly, real talk, if that thing don't make me feel a little uncomfortable, then I know that that's not necessarily the direction I need to go. Every time I feel the tingles of nervousness and discomfort for something, that lets me know, okay, that's the thing I need to go do. When that fear starts to show up, it tells me that's actually the door to my next level. That thing that I don't want to do, that thing that I'm resisting a bit, that I know I should do. Yeah. That's exactly what I have to go do. And every single time I've done that, every single time I've leaned into that discomfort, every single time I said yes to the thing that I really wanted to say no to, that's when things changed. That's when the needle moved. That's when I was actually achieving my goals. It was on the other side of that discomfort. Your next level is on the other side of that uncomfortable thing that you don't want to do. If you're too comfortable, it's not going to move, Sugar. Okay? All right. Now, let's put all of this together. What you think in your head and feel in your heart comes out in your hands. This is why these are the 3 top things that we have to focus on when we're talking about accomplishing our goals this year. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what are you doing? Because whatever is happening in your thoughts, whatever is happening in your head, it impacts what you feel in your heart. And eventually, it's going to come out in your hands. It will be very difficult for us to do the right thing if our thinking and we thinking about the wrong thing. And so then our feelings are destructive and have gone off to the left. Then whatever it is that we do is going to stem from that place. Okay, so if you're finding yourself in either of those categories where you are doing nothing or you're doing too much or you're procrastinating or you're self-sabotaging or you're stuck in the comfort zone, Sugar, we have to examine what is happening in our heads. What are we feeling in our hearts that is driving what we're seeing coming out in our hands? Okay, now you're probably now wondering, all right, Dr. T, our head, our hearts, and our hands. But how do we make sure that what we're doing is effective? I got you, Sugar. The number one thing, I'm going to give you 2, but the number one thing that we can do to make sure that whatever we're doing is effective, check and make sure that you are making consistent, positive progress. All right? If whatever you're doing, whatever that action is, whatever that behavior, whatever it is, it should be helping you to make consistent, positive progress. All right. And by consistent, I don't mean that you will just keep winning and winning and winning. We may take 5 steps back or 5 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But when you tally it all up, you should see that you are making more steps forward than you are taking backward. Okay? If that action is making you better, if it's making you wiser, if it's making you stronger, if it's giving you more clarity, whatever it is, you should see some progress that's happening within you. Now, if it's not making you better, but you see it's making you bitter, it's making you angrier, it's you're getting injured, doing that thing. It's ruining relationships. It's causing you to go through like way different way, just emotional turmoil, then you might want to re-examine that action. Okay, if it's not making you better, it is causing you some bitterness in your life, and bitterness in your emotion, and bitterness in your thoughts, and bitterness in your relationships, you might want to re-examine, those actions, because that's not going to help you get closer to your goals. That's not going to help you actually achieve the life that you want, you want to build. So ask yourself, number 1, is this action helping me to make consistent positive progress? Notice I'm saying positive, because we can be progressing in the wrong direction. We can be making negative progress. Okay. So you want to make sure that it is positive in the sense that it is helping you move toward your goal. All right. That's the first thing. The second thing, that, and I chuckle as I say this, because usually when I say this, I get the, that's just because no, I'm not saying this just because I am a coach. But the second thing you want to do is get a coach. That is the second thing that you want to do. It don't have to be me. Sugar, I'm not saying you got to be my client, that I got to be your coach. I would love to be your coach. Matter of fact, there's a QR code for you to get a free coaching session with me, because I would love to chat with you, sugar. But if it's not me, this is not about me. I'm not saying this to you as a sales tactic or a ploy or some kind of way to improve me at all. I got my coach. Like I told you, I got a coach and a therapist. I got my person. But you need your person. That is not your best friend. That is not you need a person that is objective. You need a person that will be able to take an objective view of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and will help you to build a strategy around that thing, that will hold you accountable to maybe the self-sabotaging actions, that you're doing, and help you see it more clearly, that will help you get some perspective on some of the thought patterns or the emotional patterns that you're seeing to crop up, and that will help you to actually build strategies around those things so that you can keep progressing forward, so that you can keep making that consistent positive progress. Again, this is not about you making me your coach. I would love that. But this is about you actually accomplishing your goals for real this year, and not putting it off to next year, and not doing these self-sabotaging actions that's keeping you stuck in place, stuck on the hamster wheel, and wondering when your life is going to change. Okay. The other benefit of having a coach is that we collapse time for our clients. All right. When I was talking to my client and she was telling me the struggle that she had, like I said, I had professional and personal experience with that thing. So I could give her the 1, 2, 3, 4 tips that it took me in that scenario. It took me 2 years to figure that out, where I could give it to her in 1 hour. She didn't have to go 2 years to figure this thing out. I had to spend the 2 years. All she had to do was spend 1 hour with me. So that's why having a coach is so important, because why waste another moment doing the wrong thing, or doing no thing, or doing too many things, when you can have a coach that can help you do the right thing right now, and you don't have to waste any more time doing all this other stuff. You can accomplish your goals faster. I had to spend the 2 years. And because I had to spend the 2 years or the 10 years or the 15 years learning what I now know, I can give that to you give you that wisdom, give you that knowledge, give you that inside scoop, give you that strategy. So you don't have to spend 2 years, 10 years, 15 years like I spent it. I collapse time for you. I give you the shortcut. That's really the effective, here's how you do it, and save yourself a lot of time, energy, and effort. And you can go on enjoying your life without spending this time going around and around and around doing things that don't work. That's why I have a coach. That's why I say the coach has a coach. My coach collapses time for me as I am collapsing time for you. Okay? So if you want to make sure you are doing the right thing and that you are accomplishing your goals this year, number one, is this action helping me to make consistent, positive progress? Number two, let me get a coach. Let me call my coach and let's get this thing going so that I can not just start the year beginning to do what, but I can really move the needle this year. So by the end of this year, I can say, look at my list of what I've accomplished, instead of saying, look at my list of regrets. Look at my list of shoulda, woulda, couldas. Look at my list of what I wish I hadn't done. Okay, you can change that right now. Again, scan the QR code, totally free session with me. We can talk about it, or head to Google and Google life coach near me and find you a coach that you really connect with, that you feel that really understands you and gets you, and start with them right now. All right, sugar, remember, what we think in our head and what we feel in our hearts comes out in our hands. Okay, sugar? All right, sugar. Well, thank you so much for sticking in here with me. I hope you are one step closer to accomplishing your goals.